Welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we're here celebrating the magic of movies and physical media with you. Now, I really have zero interest in becoming that old man at the end of the bar who endlessly recounts the good old days or the glory days of my youth. Yeah, I'm good. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie first arrived on home video and on our screens in 1998 on DVD. And then in 2011 with an HD transfer of this Blu-ray, including reissued Blu-rays and this multi-film collection that obviously I have here in my hand. But this was still from the old transfer. But in 2025, Arrow Video has delivered the definitive presentation with a new 4K scan of the original 35mm negative, forming a 4K DI with HDR and Dolby Vision grading, and presented in its original theatrical ratio of 1:8:5:1. And the restoration and color grading was supervised and approved by director Steve Barron to ensure accuracy. Alright guys, so let's jump into the sewers and take a closer look at this 4K presentation from Arrow Video against Warner Bros. 2011 Blu-ray release, and let's see if this 4K is truly worth the upgrade. And also stay tuned after the review for a rundown of some new special features, including an alternate cut that has not been released here in the States. This 4K presentation is an absolute marvel and really shows the true benefits of what a 4K scan can really do effectively, bringing the film to a whole new level of detail, clarity, and tangibility than I've seen before on home video. The higher 2160p resolution pulls an impressive amount of texture out of the original negative, furnishing finer lines that really elevates the film with the clearest and sharpest imagery possible, without the use of AI sharpening tools. I also noticed that the edges are tighter on this 4K than I've seen before on home video, which is a big plus. The 4K scan also does a tremendous job of cleaning up the image, while still retaining all the natural qualities baked into the original negative, preserving the film's gritty texture beautifully, including those softer shots with close-ups, optical composites, and transitions that is purely authentic of the original production and not any kind of flaws with the 4K transfer. Considerably improved here are the textural and finer details. For example, the Turtles animatronic costumes with all the facial features and fabric folds, also details from the little spots and imperfections on faces and the turtle's body, to the rubber surfaces and also the makeup effects, including some slight battle damage and scuffs that I never picked up on before. And all of this is much more distinct and revealing now, that adds much more realism that was missing from the previous DVD and Blu-rays. And inside the turtle layer, it all looks tighter in clarity and improved depth. This 4K scan remains faithful to the film's gritty comic book realism without making it look modern clean. Instead, it restores the theatrical feel with its dark, moody, tactile atmosphere that delivers a much truer cinematic appearance. The color palette is likewise a night and day difference here, where the 2011 Blu-ray looked very muted and murky. Now the colors are bright, bold, and more vibrant. And there's one area of note here that I wanted to touch on, and that is some corrected colors. That according to director Steve Barron, no home video release ever had the appropriately displayed color palette. And this runs throughout the film with backgrounds, costumes, vehicles, and other areas. The HDR10 Dolby Vision grading gives a wider color gamut with higher vibrancy and highlights that's more dimensional. And the color palette now looks more natural. We have all those beautiful streetlight yellows, humid greens, the slight warm orange glow in April's apartment. The whole film just now feels much more grounded. The improved saturation illuminates a really nice, pleasant warmth across the image, rendering skin tones more accurately displayed now, looking naturally warm, including the turtle skin tones with the costumes that appears much less neon or plasticky. Now, one area I wanted to touch on, and probably one of the best aspects of the HDR10 Dolby Vision grading and the 4K scan, is with the contrast that now gives a perfect balance between light and dark without either element competing for screen space, and also corrects the over-darkening we saw from the previous DVD and Blu-ray. And what this does is it draws out much better color timing and light levels now, which is important for a film that was shot primarily at night and under dim lighting. The stronger and wider contrast really helps in this department, and also dynamically separated, giving the film more dimensionality. This 4K also has some very striking and strong black levels that are on full display here. But the HDR10 Dolby Vision grading on the UHD disc deepens its darkness, manifesting in inkier, truer blacks and illuminating deeper shadows. I also noticed blacks look more stabilized than they did on the Blu-ray or the DVD, which finally avoids the crushed shadows and washed out darkness of the 2011 Blu-ray. Shadow detail is also significantly better here. You can now make out all the contours of the suits, environmental textures, and background action even in the darkest areas of the screen. The stronger black levels and shadows makes a really nice impact and major improvement here over the previous Blu-ray or the DVD that gives off a much truer cinematic appearance. Now, as for the grain field, the film has always had a really heavy grain, and the 2011 Blu-ray did no favors with it. It had very swarmy looking grain, other times had very muddy and gloomy grain. And while there is still a handful of shots that are grainier than others, only due to the second generation elements, overall the 4K scan has a much better resolved grain field that looks tighter and stable, and respects the film negative, giving us a very pleasing natural 35mm filmic appearance. Alright, now let's dive into the audio presentation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on 4K, and Arrow Video has provided not one, not two, but three audio tracks. We have the original theatrical stereo mix, and a new remixed Dolby Atmos struck from the original audio elements. And third, we have an alternate stereo UK mix dubbed as the Warrior Mix. And this UK mix replaces the word ninja with warrior due to the strict censorship rules in the UK at the time, which discouraged the use of the word ninja in media aimed towards kids. Sure, take out the word ninja, but leave in Damn! Makes perfect sense. It makes no sense. The Dolby Atmos mix does its job, aiming to only expand on the original elements rather than reinvent them with modern elements, meaning they never add in modern sound effects in the mix. The surround effects are much more enveloping here, putting you straight into the action than the 5.1 mix on the Blu-ray. High channels are carefully placed overhead without sounding aggressive or gimmicky, and sound effects during action scenes gracefully glide from the surrounds to overhead with all the swipes and whooshes of the action. That fully uses this outstanding audio mix without ever feeling forced. Low ends also sound much tighter and more defined with some outstanding bass rumbles and levels, and gives the film some really nice weight to it. And dialogue comes through clean and clear, and the best part of this new mix is the dialogue, music, and sound effects still maintain the characteristics of the late 80s, early 90s, and it also adds more vertical space in a way that fully respects the film's original sound design with a very cinematic experience. Guys, hands down, Arrow Video's 4K presentation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a game changer in the UHD market, and also with the remastered Blu-ray that is sourced from the same 4K scan. Both of them have aggressive video and audio presentations. This is an immediate upgrade from your previous Blu-ray or DVD. But now head over to the comment section and let me know. When you look at the differences here between the two formats, the 2011 Blu-ray from Warner Brothers and this new 4K presentation from Arrow Video, which do you like better? Or do you even see much difference at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, I hope you made it this far because this set does include some new and archival features, but I'm only going to focus on the new material. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is there are two alternate cuts. One is a UK cut and the other is a Korean cut. that does include censored footage presented in 4K for the first time and runs 2 minutes shorter than the US cut at 1 hour and 31 minutes, where the US cut ran 1 hour and 33 minutes. It also includes an alternate ending from a VHS work print. And next up, we have a brand new audio commentary with director Steve Barron, and also a new commentary track with comic book expert, artist, and podcaster Dave Baxter. Next up, we have some new interviews with director Steve Barron. This interview is really fantastic. Barron goes in deep about his experience in shooting the film, working with his friend Jim Henson, and the challenges of working with the animatronic suits and the puppet work. And we also have a new interviews with the actors who played in the turtle suits, and all the challenges that went into not only acting inside the animatronic suits, but having to perform the complex martial arts choreography during fight scenes. We also have a new interview with actor Judith Hogg, and then we have a new interview with producer Simon Fields. And this is a good one, where Simon talks about not just the production, but also how him and the rest of the filmmakers and even the crew were mocked by their peers in the industry for making a Turtles kid movie. We also have a new interview with puppet coordinator and also second unit director Brian Henson and Rob Tiger. And they discuss working with the puppets, with the animatronic suits, Splinter's puppet work, and all the other effects. And lastly, we have a new featurette exploring the film's locations of New York and North Carolina from when the film was shot in 1989 to present day. Yeah, guys, honestly, this is hands down the best 4K presentation I have seen this year. It's definitely the perfect 4K UHD presentation to end 2025 with. Next up, guys, stay tuned for my 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And yes, comparing it to the previous Blu-ray release. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And remember, hold on a second. And remember, keep physical media alive and stay tuned for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and 3. I'll see you then.
Twin Flicks presents